I just saw LeBron get swept yet again, and I have to say, I don't even have him in my top 10 anymore after watching that garbage. I mean, how many times do we have to witness the self-proclaimed GOAT brick the absolute living shit out of a clutch shot? This guy's out there airballing shots and missing layups. At some point, you gotta have some shame, my man. Is he playing? No, I just think that, we play in different eras.
The debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James has erupted once again. This time, the spark came from an old Jordan interview that resurfaced online, with many fans claiming it highlights the biggest contrast between the two basketball icons. As the clip spread across social media, reactions poured in from every direction. Jordan supporters quickly pointed to it as evidence of his unmatched mindset, while LeBron fans pushed back just as fast. Before long, the GOAT conversation was dominating timelines again, proving that the rivalry between their legacies never truly disappears. What made the clip resonate so strongly wasn't a discussion about championships, MVP awards, career statistics, or longevity. Instead, the focus was on mentality. In the video, Jordan spoke about handling pressure, leading by example, taking responsibility, and never relying on excuses regardless of the situation. Once viewers began comparing those comments to some of LeBron's more recent moments, the internet immediately turned the conversation into a debate about two different paths to greatness. Fans started arguing over which mindset better represents true leadership and what qualities ultimately define the greatest player of all time.
He's still number 2 all time. The reason that I don't put him number 1 is because there was too many times earlier in his career where he didn't have that assassin's mentality. So we look at Jordan and we look, first of all, he's 6-0 in NBA finals. You never looked at MJ and said in a championship series, he didn't get it done. Not one time.
The reason this debate exploded so quickly is because discussions about Jordan and LeBron have gone far beyond basketball. At this point, people are really arguing over what greatness should look like. For one side, LeBron represents the most complete player the game has ever seen, combining elite longevity, versatility, basketball IQ, and all-around impact. The other side views Jordan as a gold standard of competitiveness, a player whose mindset never wavered when the pressure was at its highest. When that old Jordan clip resurfaced, many of his supporters saw it as fresh evidence supporting their argument. To them, it reinforced everything they have always believed about his mentality and approach to the game. The timing only added fuel to the fire. LeBron was already facing criticism from fans over several recent Lakers-related storylines. Discussions about the team's struggles, his on-court body language, and moments where he was accused of leaving the court early were already making the rounds online. So when viewers watched Jordan speak about never giving opponents, critics, or outside distractions any emotional advantage, many immediately began drawing comparisons. Before long, social media was connecting Jordan's comments to LeBron's recent situations, turning a simple resurface clip into another major chapter in the never-ending GOAT debate.
Who's devalued LeBron? See, that's the BS that we have to stop letting him and his camp get away.
Lots of people have.
Once again, no, excuse me. We talk about the GOAT because he's not in a lot of people's eyes. It's Michael Jordan. That is it.
Whether people like it or not, perception plays a huge role in debates like this. Throughout his entire career, LeBron has been evaluated through a different lens than almost any other player. Every reaction is scrutinized. Every comment is analyzed, and every defeat becomes a major talking point. That's the reality of spending more than 2 decades in a constant conversation about whether you're the greatest player ever or the one player who could never quite surpass Michael Jordan. What stood out most to fans in the resurfaced Jordan clip was the topic of accountability. Jordan spoke about embracing expectations, accepting criticism, and recognizing that true leadership often means taking responsibility without focusing on external factors or circumstances. That message immediately caught the attention of fans online. Critics of LeBron began pointing to various moments throughout his career where they believed he publicly referenced roster shortcomings, hinted at organizational issues, or offered explanations for losses in ways they feel Jordan typically avoided. Of course, whether those comparisons are completely fair is open to debate. Different eras, personalities, and situations naturally lead to different leadership styles. But sports discussions are often shaped as much by perception as they are by facts, and once that narrative gained momentum, The debate quickly intensified across social media. In the end, the conversation became less about a single clip and more about how fans interpret leadership, accountability, and greatness. That's why the Jordan versus LeBron argument continues to resurface year after year, with every new moment adding another layer to an already endless debate.
I think he's made his mark. He will continue to do so over a period of time. But when you start the comparisons, I think it is what it is.
Here's the angle that often gets overlooked in this debate. Jordan and LeBron have operated under completely different media environments throughout their careers. Jordan certainly faced intense scrutiny and worldwide attention, but LeBron entered the league at a time when social media transformed the way athletes are covered. Today, every facial expression is analyzed, every post-game comment is instantly shared online, and every controversial moment can become a viral topic within minutes. Clips, memes, and debates can dominate timelines for weeks. Whether fans like it or not, that level of constant exposure changes how athletes communicate and present themselves. Still, many Jordan supporters aren't interested in that context. From their perspective, true greatness means enduring pressure without ever publicly revealing vulnerability. They point to Jordan's ability to navigate difficult situations throughout his career. Early playoff disappointments, physical defenses, injuries, team challenges, and relentless expectations, while maintaining an image of complete confidence and control. Because of that, when LeBron speaks about roster construction, officiating, fatigue, or organizational decisions, some critics interpret those comments differently. Rather than seeing them as explanations or observations, they view them as signs of weakness. Fair or not, that's how many fans frame the comparison. That's exactly why the resurfaced clip gained so much traction. It touched on the deepest divide in the Jordan versus LeBron conversation. One side prioritizes dominance, intimidation, and an unwavering competitive mindset above all else. The other values all-around impact, versatility, sustained excellence, and unprecedented longevity. As long as fans continue defining greatness in different ways, the debate will never truly end. Every interview, every quote, and every viral moment simply becomes another piece of evidence for whichever side people already believe in.
Is Jordan, does he throw darts at...
What's remarkable is that LeBron's statistical case has become nearly impossible to ignore. His scoring record, playoff achievements, longevity, versatility, and ability to impact every aspect of the game place him in a category of his own. Even many Jordan supporters acknowledge those accomplishments, yet the debate always returns to intangibles. Jordan fans point to his killer instinct, finals mentality, psychological dominance, and the aura he carried throughout his career. They argue that opponents feared him before games even began, and that his leadership style created a unique level of accountability. That's why the resurfaced Jordan clip gained so much attention. It reignited the emotional side of the GOAT debate. Once conversations shift from statistics to mentality, fans often stop focusing on nuance. Every Jordan moment becomes proof of unmatched toughness, while every LeBron moment becomes evidence for critics who question his approach under pressure. The reality is that both players represent different versions of greatness. Jordan embodied dominance, intimidation, and a carefully protected image of invincibility. LeBron represents longevity, adaptability, versatility, and sustained excellence under unprecedented public scrutiny. In the end, the debate is no longer just about basketball. It's about how people define greatness itself. Some value peak dominance and psychological intimidation. Others value complete basketball impact and 2 decades of elite performance. That's why one old Jordan clip created such a massive reaction online. It reinforced beliefs that fans already held. And maybe that's the real question at the center of the entire debate. When we talk about the greatest player ever, are we talking about the best basketball player or the player whose mentality seemed the most unstoppable? Depending on your answer, the Jordan versus LeBron argument may never be settled.